Hi, I'm Drew. Welcome to the Beggars Woodshop. Every so often, we've got that project we need to redo. Well, I just happen to have an old bell stand that needs to be redone. And that's what I'm gonna do, right here, on the Beggars Woodshop. Come on inside.
This program has been made possible by contributions from our viewers. Thank you.
This bell has a lot of history. Dates well before I was born. In fact, some of it I probably don't even know. A while back, I made this nice stand for it, but the purpose it served for was to be in the back of a vehicle and didn't end up getting used due to weather. Now, my friend Imad made another one. Same bell. In fact, these were sisters. They belonged together. He and I thought the exact same thing. Take two bells, make some stands for him. Well, I saw what his stand looks like, and it's very nice. I'd like to improve this one, and we're going to use Imad's as an inspiration. Let me show you the wood we're going to use. Come on. These pieces of wood come from our bench redo project. In fact, these were the pieces that held up the pegboard cabinets. I had to cut one partly down for an emergency. Fortunately, it's no longer needed. I'm going to recycle this wood. Now, the cut is going to determine how big I can make everything, but hopefully it'll suffice. I'll square up a couple of edges, but let me see. Might be able to... Let me make some marks. I'm going to square up the edge here first before I make all of my final cuts and triple check everything. But before we go chopping and hacking, we got to talk about safety. Read the manuals that come with your power tools. The more you understand and follow those rules, the less likely you are to cause personal injury either to yourself or someone else. Hearing protection is also a must. You don't want to go deaf while you're still young. But of course, the greatest protection you can take? Eye protection. You will be thankful the day these come in handy. Let's just hope they never do. Alright, let's get started. Before I forget, I better start disassembling this thing. I could use the wood. It's a good thing I grabbed it. Heavy! Okay. Now to disassemble the rest. Something I have to consider while doing this project. Most of this wood has got pre-existing holes, so you may or may not be able to see from that camera. So I got to be careful my cuts and my new screws wherever they go, because I'm going to drill some new holes to fit the new screws, plus I got to have a big enough hole if I want to fit that bell in. I've got some of the base pieces cut. Now let's put those together by drilling them out. Ready? There's one. Two. Determining the final distance of everything hinges on the bell width. I know I want at least one 2x4 to be right in here with the bell. That way I have a little extra support. So I really got to make sure the next piece that is cut right fits the correct width I want. And this one is definitely too long. See if I've got a piece that'll fit before I try anything. Oh boy. Hi, new day today. You ready to get started? I measured out the posts and they are about 15 and 1/8 inch. So we're gonna make some cuts there. Earlier, I cut this a little bit lower to give me a more flush top. I cut off a fair amount too. So this one, I have to do the same. And I wanted to wait until I added that extra support in the middle. Hopefully I didn't get that thing too high. Alright, let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing a cut be made unsafe. I should have been standing on this side, not this side where I could have sliced into my arm. Do as I say, not as I do. Dum-dum. Let me show you a little thing you have to remember if you're working with an object like this. I have a piece here on the yoke. It's just small enough for a pivot point. I can put the piece of wood here, but I want to not have it so high up because of the support. So I have to bring it down, but I can only come down so far before I hit the bell and it brings everything out of position. I can't go wider, otherwise nothing will work. So I'm going to cut this at a 45-degree angle. I'll do that next. After cutting to a 45-degree angle both pieces, I clamp them together all lined up and drill a hole to the yoke using a spade bit. This way I can align both holes perfectly to each other. Done. Okay. So one of these will have to go in just a tiny bit more on the drill to accommodate the unevenness of the bell. At least the unevenness of the yoke. That's the fine. I made a quick mark while I had it clamped onto the main base, so I knew exactly where to cut it flush. And I'll transfer that to the other one. Okay, let's get her in. There. That side's in. It's in the hole. It's in the hole. Perfect. I want to make sure my top is approximately 1 2x4 thick for options in the future. So this is going to help line things up with some clamps. And then we'll secure it nice and tight. Okay, now the inside. Secured. I had to lower this middle brace because it was actually hitting the bell. It wasn't affecting making it ring, but it was kind of in the way. I'll use this to my advantage too, because as you can tell, we got a little wobble here. So let's add some secondary bracing. Now, I've got to cut these at most likely 45-degree angles, maybe something else, which means I do have to get out a saw that is not my circular saw. I gotta do the radial arm. That's why we got it. I don't have a concern about it being plumb. It's not anything fancy or is expected to stay straight, just as long as it's supported and is holding the bell, displaying it at being out of the dust. I call that pretty good. Yep. Now the bell is not balanced, but that's okay. I can do that at another time. I need to do some other maintenance there. I ran out of wood, unfortunately, so I'm missing one brace on this side. But currently, it doesn't matter. This sucker is pretty rigid and strong. Overall, I'm very pleased with how it turned out. In comparison to the original, I got pretty close. After all, I didn't have those measurements. Well, that's all I got for now. Hopefully I will see you next time, right here on the Beggars Woodshop.